Season 1. You did not arrive here by accident, and you are not listening to these words randomly because there is a higher intelligence guiding this exact moment. And as these words flow into your awareness, something deep inside you is beginning to awaken, even if you do not fully understand it. Yet this is a divine pause, a sacred interruption, where the universe gently leans toward you and whispers that your life is far more important than you have been told, and far more powerful than you ever imagine. There are seasons in every soul's journey, and season 1 is not about shortcuts, miracles, or instant victories. It is about remembrance, because before success, before abundance, before recognition, there comes remembrance, the remembering of who you truly are beneath fear, doubt, conditioning, and exhaustion. You have been carrying invisible weight for a long time, pretending to be strong, while quietly wondering if life will ever change, and the divine wants you to know that it has seen everything. The effort you made when nobody applauded the sacrifices you didn't talk about, the nights you stayed awake questioning your worth, and the days you kept moving. Despite having no clear answers, you are not forgotten, and you are not delayed. You are being prepared, because preparation often feels like pain to an untrained mind, but to an awakened soul, it is refinement. You are here because your spirit is strong enough to receive truth. And truth is this: your past does not define your potential. Your mistakes do not cancel your purpose, and your current situation is not your final destination. Many people will never hear this message because they are not ready to release the old version of themselves. But you are different. You are willing to listen. And listening is the first act of alignment. There is a divine order unfolding around you, even when chaos appears to dominate. And every delay, every obstacle, every closed door you experienced was protecting you from something that was not aligned with your future self. Sometimes the universe blocks a path, not to punish you, but to redirect you towards something greater. And while you may have interpreted silence as abandonment, it was actually orchestration happening behind the scenes. There are conversations you never heard, battles you never fought, and outcomes that were changed just because you refused to give up when it was hardest. Understand this clearly: nothing you went through was wasted. The struggle was not meaningless, the pain was not random, and the tears were not ignored. They were transforming you, strengthening your inner foundation, so that when abundance arrives, it does not destroy you. When success comes, it does not confuse you. And when recognition finds you, it does not change your integrity. Season 1 is about building the inner structure before the outer results, because life does not reward urgency. It responds to alignment. And right now, alignment begins with awareness. You must see yourself differently. You must stop shrinking your vision to match your past experiences. You must stop negotiating with fear and calling it realism. Fear always pretends to be logic, but logic without courage creates limitations. The divine message for you in this season is simple but powerful. You are capable of more than you think, but you must stop waiting for permission from people who never walked your path. Your intuition has been speaking to you through discomfort, restlessness, and recurring thoughts. Because intuition does not scream, it nudges it, repeats it, waits patiently until you listen. And deep down, you already know what you need to do. You know the direction you need to move toward. You know what no longer fits in your life. You know which habits drain you and which environments dim your spirit, and yet you hesitated. Not because you are weak, but because you were taught to prioritize safety over purpose, approval over authenticity, comfort over growth. And now your soul is asking for expansion. Not recklessness, not chaos, but courage. Courage to choose alignment over attachment. Courage to trust your inner knowing, even when others question it. This season will test your ability to listen inward instead of seeking validation outward. And the divine wants you to understand something very important. Loneliness does not mean you are unsupported. It often means you are transitioning between versions of yourself, and not everyone can come with you. And that is not a punishment. It is a natural part of evolution. The people who resonated with your old frequency may feel distant now, and that is okay, because you are tuning into a new level of awareness that requires space, clarity, and honesty with yourself. Do not chase energy that no longer matches. You do not beg for understanding from those who refuse to see you. Growth is not loud, it is subtle and powerful, and often misunderstood in its early stages. This season is also about patience, not passive waiting, but disciplined faith. Faith that continues to act even when outcomes are uncertain. Faith that shows up even when emotions fluctuate. Faith that trusts the process without needing constant reassurance because the universe responds to consistency, not desperation. When you repeatedly return to your vision with calm determination, life begins to rearrange itself. People, opportunities, and circumstances begin to align in ways that feel almost magical, but are actually the result of inner coherence. Remember this: your outer world is a mirror of your inner beliefs, and when you change those beliefs not through affirmations alone, but through action boundaries and self-respect, the mirror must reflect something new. You are not here to chase happiness as a fleeting emotion. You are here to build stability, meaning, and contribution. Happiness follows alignment, not the other way around. And the divine is inviting you to shift from asking, "Why is this happening to me?" to asking, "What is this teaching me? What strength is being developed? What clarity is being revealed? What version of myself is being called forward?" Because every challenge contains instruction, and every ending contains a beginning. If you are willing to let go, this season will demand honesty with yourself. Honesty about what you want, honesty about what you fear, and honesty about what no longer serves you, because transformation does not begin when circumstances change. It begins when perception does. And right now, your perception is expanding. You are starting to realize that you do not need to control everything to be safe. You need to trust yourself enough to respond wisely. And this trust is built through small, consistent choices, not dramatic breakthroughs. Choose to speak kindly to yourself. Choose to rest without guilt. Choose to move forward, even when motivation is low. Choose to honor your time, your energy, and your values, because these choices compound silently. And one day you look back and realize you became the person you once begged life to help you become. Season 1 may feel slow, may feel quiet, may feel uncertain, but it is sacred groundwork, and just because others cannot see it does not mean it is not happening. Roots grow in darkness first before anything appears above the surface. So if you feel unseen, uncelebrated, or underestimated, understand that this is often the position of becoming. And the divine promise here is this: if you remain true to your inner alignment, if you do not betray yourself for temporary comfort, if you keep walking even when the path feels empty, the next season will meet you with clarity, strength, and opportunities that match who you have become, not who you were. And that is why patience now protects prosperity. Later, hold this message close. Return to it when doubt arises. Let it remind you that you are not behind. You are not broken, and you are not alone. You are exactly where transformation begins, and season 1 is only the beginning of a much greater story that your soul already knows how to complete. Dude begins this message not as a coincidence, but as a symbol of purity, nourishment, and quiet strength, because just like milk sustains the body without noise, your inner power has been sustaining you silently through every challenge, and now this nourishment is turning into realization. You are starting to sense that something within you is changing the way you see yourself, the way you tolerate situations, and the way you respond to life. You're no longer reacting from fear alone. You are observing, you are learning. And this awareness is a clear sign that growth is already happening, even if results have not yet appeared. Understand this stage clearly. When transformation is internal, it feels invisible, but it is the most powerful phase. Because once your mindset shifts, reality has no choice but to follow. You are learning the art of calm confidence, the kind that does not rush to prove anything and does not need validation from the outside world. This season is teaching you emotional maturity, teaching you how to pause instead of panic, how to choose peace instead of chaos, and how to trust timing instead of forcing outcomes. There will be moments when your old self tries to pull you back into familiar patterns, doubt, impatience, self-criticism. But now you are equipped with awareness, and awareness creates choice. You do not have to repeat old cycles just because they feel familiar. You can choose differently, and every time you do, you rewrite your future. Some days will feel heavy, not because you are failing, but because you are shedding layers that no longer belong to you. Growth often feels like discomfort before clarity and distance before direction, but stay present, stay grounded, because the universe is training you for stability. Not excitement, consistency, not drama, and wisdom, not impulse. Remember, abundance is not just money or success. Abundance is calm in the mind, confidence in decisions, and clarity in direction. And these are the qualities you are developing now. The divine wants you to stop measuring your progress by speed and start measuring by alignment. Are you becoming? Dude flows into your awareness as a quiet messenger of possibility and unseen strength, a reminder that life has been orchestrating every subtle nudge toward clarity. Even when chaos seemed dominant and confusion clouded your mind, you're entering a phase where patience becomes your most powerful ally because the soul does not rush it, moves in its own precise rhythm, and every moment of waiting, every pause, every silence has been designed to allow your consciousness to settle and expand. You may have felt frustration as doors closed unexpectedly or opportunities slipped past your grasp. Yet these moments were not denials. They were corrections, steering you away from paths that would have diluted your growth and toward directions that align with your deepest potential. The divine intends for you to understand that not all progress is visible. Not all victories are celebrated, yet every thought you refine, every habit you release, every choice made from integrity and inner guidance accumulates quietly beneath the surface, preparing the soil for a harvest that is inevitable. When alignment is complete, notice how often your mind wanted certainty while life delivered ambiguity. Yet ambiguity is the canvas upon which clarity eventually paints its masterpiece. The challenges you encountered were never meant to break you, but to strengthen your foundation even when circumstances felt like setbacks. The universe was subtly teaching resilience, focus, and trust. You are learning to navigate the space between effort and surrender, between planning and allowing, between desire and patience. Each lesson is designed to deepen your capacity to perceive your own value and to distinguish between what is essential and what is superficial. Your energy has been tested, your intentions examined, your persistence observed, and through this careful scrutiny, the soul learns to hold steady without losing hope, to act decisively, without becoming rigid, to listen attentively, without allowing distraction to dominate. There is profound wisdom in learning to remain centered while the world around you shifts unpredictably, and this season is primarily about cultivating that stability. The divine whispers that abundance is not merely accumulation, it is coherence. It is alignment between who you are internally and what manifests externally. You are realizing more than ever that your inner state shapes your reality. More than circumstance, external outcomes mirror the depth of your awareness, and every small adjustment in perception, every moment you choose clarity over confusion, compounds exponentially over time. Do not underestimate the quiet, transformative power of these internal shifts. You may feel ordinary today, yet you are steadily becoming extraordinary from the inside out. The divine reminds you that patience is not passivity, it is an active choice to trust timing. While continuing to act with intention, you are learning to navigate the paradox of control and surrender, understanding that while effort is necessary, outcomes cannot be forced, only guided through alignment. The people you encounter, the situations that challenge you, the sudden shifts in your environment, all serve as reflections of your inner world, showing you where attachment still exists, where fear lingers, where clarity has yet to reach. You are becoming increasingly aware of how subtle energy moves around you, how the choices you make ripple silently yet profoundly across your life and the lives of others. This heightened perception allows you to discern which actions will support your highest good, and which will merely perpetuate cycles of distraction or delay. Your discernment grows each time you pause before reacting and observe the motivations beneath your impulses. The divine assures you that every moment you spend in self-awareness, every question you ask yourself, every intention set with honesty is shaping a trajectory that cannot be reversed. It is impossible for you to act with integrity and reflection without transforming yourself and the world around you. Even imperceptibly, every habit released, every fear confronted, every limiting belief dismantled, creates space for new patterns of abundance, clarity, and joy to emerge. Understand that the quiet work within often precedes the loudest transformations. Without the inner structure firmly in place, the outer manifestation cannot sustain itself. Yet you are steadily building that structure through attention, reflection, and deliberate action. Notice how certain relationships are naturally fading, how opportunities that once seemed vital are no longer resonant. These are not losses. They are the pruning process necessary for new growth to take root. You are being guided toward experiences, connections, and achievements that match the evolving frequency of your consciousness. The divine emphasizes that trust is not blind. It is cultivated through repeated alignment, through testing and returning to center. Again and again, you are learning to trust yourself more than circumstances, more than opinions, more than temporary conditions. The inner compass is becoming the primary guide and the outer world is adjusting in response. You are entering a rhythm where patience, action, awareness, and surrender coexist seamlessly, understanding that life unfolds most powerfully when these elements are balanced, and every time you choose to act from awareness rather than reaction, you reinforce your capacity to navigate challenges gracefully. The mind often wants certainty, a linear path, immediate reassurance. Yet the soul thrives in the subtle guidance, the unfolding without complete visibility. The gentle pressure that prompts reflection over reaction. Every unexpected detour, every moment of stillness is a signal for you to reorient, to clarify. To deepen your understanding of self and purpose, you're becoming increasingly attuned to the whispers of your own intuition, to the quiet nudges that direct you toward alignment. The divine encourages you to honor these subtle signals without doubt, or rationalization without second-guessing them, because intuition communicates consistently yet softly and often requires courage to follow. At first, you may have resisted its guidance, believing the voice of fear louder or more compelling, yet now, your capacity to discern is growing, and the resonance of your choices will validate your attunement to higher guidance. You're learning that patience combined with purposeful action is more powerful than hurried attempts to force outcomes. The divine invites you to see that every delay, every closed door, every moment of perceived stagnation is an essential part of timing. You cannot manufacture divine order through panic or impatience. Your current experiences are a curriculum for your spirit, preparing you to handle increased responsibility, greater abundance, and deeper influence with integrity and clarity. Your heart is learning to expand without attachment. Your mind is learning to plan without control. Your soul is learning to trust the unseen mechanisms of the universe. You are developing resilience that will withstand unexpected challenges and a confidence that will remain steady amidst turbulence. You are learning the art of balance and the practice of measured responsiveness. Your actions are becoming deliberate, intentional, and aligned even when external conditions seem chaotic. The divine reminds you that consistency in inner work will inevitably reflect in outer manifestation, even if results do not appear immediately. Every decision you make from awareness, every choice aligned with integrity, every boundary established consciously compounds into long-term stability, opportunity, and fulfillment. Do not be disheartened by temporary invisibility or lack of acknowledgement. The work you are doing is fundamental. It is the unseen foundation upon which extraordinary possibilities will be built. You are steadily constructing a reality that mirrors your evolving consciousness, one that is grounded, expansive, and reflective of your authentic power. The divine encourages you to continue noticing, reflecting, and aligning without compromise or distraction to honor your intuition, your boundaries, and your truth, because the moment you treat yourself with respect, clarity, and consistency, life itself begins to mirror that structure. You are entering a season of quiet mastery, a period where the unseen labor of your consciousness prepares you for the visible impact of your life on the world. This season, though subtle, is profoundly formative, and every step taken consciously is a step closer to a life that is expansive, abundant, and aligned in every sense. The divine assures you that patience, alignment, and conscious action are the truest forms of preparation for abundance, clarity, influence, and fulfillment, and that even when it feels slow or unseen, the work is being completed perfectly in accordance with your evolving purpose and potential. Dear child, please subscribe my channel and the press bell icon. Continue receive video.